exclusive Scholars for Medicine program. Dr. Garry graduated in 1992 with a BS in chemistry. As an undergraduate, he conducted research in the School of Marine Sciences using atomic absorption spectroscopy to measure trace amounts of iron in seawater. He was a co-author on a publication from this work that showed the importance of iron, selenium, and citric acid in the growth of brown tide microalgae in coastal bays of Long Island. Dr. Garry graduated from Stony Brook School of Medicine in 1996. He then moved to Harvard Medical School and Beth Israel Deaconess Hospital, or Beth Israel Deaconess Medical Center, where he first did training in internal medicine, followed by a fellowship in geriatrics, and he spent some time there on the faculty. And during this time, Dr. Garry was instrumental in setting up the first acute care for elderly unit in Boston. In 2002, Dr. Garry relocated to Naples, Florida, where he is Chief of Geriatrics at Naples Community Hospital. Dr. Garry has a long list of awards and honors. He has conducted research and published books on topics related to healthy aging and maintaining independence in one's later years, and has also lectured widely on these topics. And Dr. Garry will speak to us today on tools I have added to my toolbox along the way.
Well, thank you all for the invitation to be here. Graduates, congratulations. It's an honor what you have achieved and all the hard work. Stony Brook has been very good to me. It's really taught me the tools that I've needed to succeed in life. It is also where I met my wife. We've been married now for 28 years. I know how hard you've worked to get a degree in chemistry. Chemistry is a very hard discipline, but it's that hard work that you put in that's going to allow you to be successful in life. You need to be proud of yourself for this hard work. Take the time to do it. You put in an enormous effort, and you should be happy for that. My father was a sheet metal worker, and so he worked with his hands, and it's caused me to always think about life as a big giant toolbox. And as you age in life, you accumulate different tools. So when you're young, your parents give you hammers and screwdrivers. They teach you right from wrong, good versus evil. They make you who you are. And as you get older in life, you get more sophisticated tools. You might get a miter saw, or you may get a torque wrench. And all these tools are what makes who you are and how you deal with your life's lessons. In high school, you were given tools from your high school teachers, but I can promise you, Stony Brook has given you more tools in your toolbox than anybody but your family. And specifically, the chemistry department gave me the tools to succeed. Look, if you could pass thermodynamics and P-Chem, what can't you do? What's going to be harder than that in life? We all know how hard it is to get through that, and that's one of the bases of chemistry, the hard life. It also gave me a leg up in medicine. All my colleagues spent time memorizing everything. Yet I was able to understand the concepts because, what is chemistry? It's the essence of life. And if you understand chemistry, you understand how half-lives work, how often drugs should be given, how drugs interact with each other, how drugs are metabolized. And so you don't have to spend all your time memorizing, and I do think it gave me a leg up in my education. So I'd like to pass some sage advice that I've learned over the years, and I can promise you some of it you're not going to appreciate right now, but if you listen to me, one day you will. In life, you're going to have mentors, but nobody's going to come up to you and ask you, can I mentor you? You have to seek out your mentors, and they can help guide you. But it's on you to find these wonderful mentors. I jokingly tell my patients that when I'm at the pearly gates and I see St. Peter's, they're never going to wish that they had one more visit with me. It's times like that that you realize what's important to you. And I'm here to tell you that it's your family. Your family will always have your back. Whether you're right or wrong, your family will have your back. My mom was Italian. She had my back. She'd always let me know if I was wrong, but she'd still always have my back. And so I want you to take this time to stand up and thank your family for giving you the tools you needed to succeed in this tough journey that you've been through. Come on, stand up, look at your parents and thank them. Always make time for your family. One day they may not be here, so make the time. It's also important to learn about finances. Here we are in chemistry, and I'm going to tell you about finances. No matter how much money you make, you could overspend it. A good rule of life is moderation. Don't live beyond your means, and appreciate what you've had and what you've earned. Many of you will be starting a new chapter in your life, maybe making your first paycheck. And I'm here to tell you, start your 401k. When you're 50, you're gonna thank me, because your money's gonna grow. But you'll think you don't have the money now, and I learned this when I was an intern from a patient, and very grateful for that insight that they had given me. On July 2nd, 1996, I was on liver rounds. And I was with my mentor, Robert Mollering, who's a famous physician, discovered the drug vancomycin, among others. And there's 20 of us, and I'm seeing a patient who has fungus in his blood. And the patient's very confused, what we call delirium. And I couldn't get his attention. And I kept on saying, look at me, look at me. And I couldn't get his attention. So I leaned down, lowered my voice, and I said, look at me. And all of a sudden, the patient licked me on the side of my face. And I looked at him and I said, why did you do that? And he said, you said lick me. And it was at that point I realized that a New York accent isn't always in your best interest. So why do I tell you that? Learn not to take yourself seriously, right? Life is a journey. It doesn't matter whether you're the dean of the medical school, the chairman of the Department of Chemistry, or a sheet metal worker. Treat everyone the same, and with the respect that your mother and father instilled into you. Lastly, the journey of life, as a physician, I can tell you, can be very short. I have a rule. No one takes a day from me. And I mean no one takes a day from me, because life can be too short. And so what I mean by that is try not to get mad. See the good in people. Enjoy every day like it's your last. And live your life to your fullest. But don't forget to give others a hand up. Next time you're on the LIE and somebody cuts you off, just let it slide. Life is too short to get mad. So a good friend told me that I can't give this talk without a joke. So many of you are familiar with the little Johnny jokes. So little Johnny was in school, and his teacher was trying to teach him about how bad alcohol is. So she took a worm, and she put a worm in water. And the worm was singing around, dancing around, as happy as any worm can be. She then put the worm in alcohol, and the worm writhed in pain before it died. And the teacher was so proud of herself, because she just taught how bad alcohol is. She looks at little Johnny and says, "Little Johnny, what did you learn?" And he said, "If you drink alcohol, you don't get worms." In many situations, there's more than one lesson to be learned. Some of them is the obvious, alcohol is bad for you. And then some of it is the more complicated lessons. And this comes with life and experience. And your mentors can help you figure out the harder lessons in life. But life can be short, so to make the most of every day and always make time for your family. Remember, if you don't have the proper tools in your tool sets, it's okay to ask to borrow somebody else's tool. Dream big and make yourself proud. And I thank you for your time.